What's up, guys? How's it going? Been a long time, hasn't it? Okay, so you guys, we're gonna be playing Y on the Nintendo Wii. So anyway, if you guys haven't heard of Beastly, which probably like almost nobody has, Beastly was a movie that came out like almost a decade ago now, and it was supposed to be, well, like it was based on a book that was like kind of a rewrite of the Beauty and the Beast tale, and it's supposed to kind of be from the perspective of the Beast or whatever. And I haven't read the book, so I can't really tell you exactly, but I remember watching the movie once a long time ago, and then I changed the channel pretty quickly. Anyway, yeah, you guys will see a good example here of like a kind of game where like who was the market for this anyway. So timing starts here when I select character. It doesn't really matter which character we pick. I'm gonna pick the guy just because there's like one specific mini game where I think it kind of makes a difference. But anyway, so time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. So basically this game, it takes place, you are a character, you're not any of the main characters, you're a character that happens to go to the school of the main characters of the game, or of the movie rather, and so you kind of see all of these events take place from like a third-person perspective, and basically it just doesn't really follow the movie very well at all. But so we start out here. We need to grab a sign here, and we need to go over to this area here. We start out the game with like this high school is having like elections and stuff, and they're gonna be electing this main character dude as the president. But basically this is kind of like I'd say like a point and click type of game, but essentially it's also a mini game collection, and it's completely ridiculous. And this mini game in particular is really annoying because if you mess up on like any of the mini games, if you mess up at all, you're punished pretty harshly, and it's pretty ridiculous. But we kind of hope that we get good luck here. Every minigame is pretty much RNG based, how fast you will complete them, because like you pretty much just have to hope you get like really quick enough spawns and stuff. Like here, if we get like tons of spawns like that, for example, then we can end up finishing the minigame a lot quicker. But yeah, so if you guys have seen the movie, I mean, like, so there's like one part in the movie where they're like holding signs and stuff, but they're really stretching for game content here, in my opinion. But it's better than the DS game. It's way better than the DS game. Believe it or not, the DS game is worse than this. I mean, I guess that's pretty standard, but the DS game is basically just a spot the difference game the entire game. So this game contains ripped from the movie cutscenes. All of the cutscenes are ripped from the movie. Because I'm rich. So yeah, so you kind of get to see Kyle here. Kyle's the main character. He's a rich kind of mean kid. He's got a girlfriend named Sloane, and I don't really know a lot about him. I don't know the movie, but anyway, Kyle ends up bullying this girl named Kendra, and Kendra is played by Mary-Kate Olsen, and it's kind of weird, but basically Mary-Kate Olsen happens to be a witch, and you don't want to mess with a witch and stuff. So anyway, so we need to first of all, we have a Machu Picchu trip that comes up at the very end of the game, and it's also kind of the main plot of the movie, is that there's this big Machu Picchu field trip that's gonna go on. So we need to go and ask students around if they want to go on the trip. And the students that want to go on the trip are totally random, so we have to hope that we just get good luck here. That entire group there actually signed up, so that's actually pretty nice, as long as we get one from this group here. Okay. So as long as we don't need to walk up to the top right corner of the room, we don't waste too much time, but you literally, it's just completely random which characters want to sign up for the trip, so the faster you complete that, the better. And yeah, and also the way that the crowds are all spread out, like where they're standing and stuff, is also random, so that can kind of be an issue sometimes. They can sometimes like get in your way and obstruct the path you're trying to walk through, which can be really annoying. Anyway, so we're walking along here, and we're still in the school, but we're gonna be moving along to the next few games here in a second. So the elections are still kind of going on or whatever, and you can see Kyle bullying Kendra here, but we're gonna skip through all that text because that's not, it's all boring. No one cares, Kendra. Okay, so we're gonna walk to the end of this hallway here. We need to talk to Lindy again here, and then we're gonna do another mini game here, which is an election counting mini game where we count the votes of the election. Doesn't that sound fun, guys? So we need to get rid of all of the fake votes and make sure to separate the votes the right way. If we mess up and like don't separate them the right way, then we get penaltied by like 5 freaking points. So it's really punishing if we mess up. So we want to try and not mess up like that. For instance, there I messed up. So we need to be a little careful there, and I messed up again. Some of them are a little harder to see than others as far as like the difference between the messed up Kyle faces and Kyle's regular face, because he's just that bad looking. No, I'm just kidding. We're almost to the end here. This one is kind of easy to mess up, but if you go quick enough, then that's great. Almost done here. There we go. All right. So Kyle wins the election no matter how the votes turn out, even if you get more votes for the girl or whatever. Doesn't matter. It's always Kyle. So we move on from that completely pointless minigame, and we're now outside of the club of the Green Party celebration. The Green Party is Kyle's running party. I don't know. I don't know many high schools that use party systems, but he does. And anyway, I think it's just supposed to signify how rich he is. But basically, in this part here, we need to wait in line. And wait in line, and wait some more. Gameplay, everybody. This isn't padding things out at all. No, not at all. We're not stretching. This game was made in 2011, by the way. So we need to force our way in, and so the way we do that is we just talk to a bunch of characters, and once we talk to the 5th character that we can end up talking to, then they invite us in, and then we're in the club. So I think that's how stuff works. So actually, yeah, I'm dumb. I forgot the sequence of events here. We need to talk to Trey first. We don't go into the club yet because continuity is overrated. So okay. Alright, this is a bad spawn. We want to hope that we don't end up having to walk around the other way, but basically if we get a bad crowd spawn, we can end up having to walk around a little bit longer distances than we want, which sucks, but you know, such is life. Alright, so we just go and check out Sloane's locker there, and I don't know why we do that, but basically this game is all like, okay, go snooping around through people's stuff and go stalking people and whatnot. It's really kind of inappropriate, but anyway, so we go and talk to Trey, and then we get into the club. Then we get into the club, and we get this awesome cutscene of club action. Some people in some yeah, doing some drumming. So we're gonna go and dance. You guys ready for some ultimate dancing mini games? Cause we do them in Beastly. It's what we do. We do everything that has absolutely nothing to do with the movie, and it's basically just a DDR game with a D-pad. Are you guys ready for Raise Your Sour Pleases? And the frequency in which the notes come at us is actually random too, so we can end up finishing this a lot sooner if we just get good luck. Look at this amazing quality. He doesn't even have facial features. I'm pretty sure N64 characters had facial features. He doesn't even have fingers. He just has like hand mitts. But look at that awesome vest jacket combo. He's looking stylish. Alright, that was actually like pretty good luck on the dancing, so that's cool. So after that, we sit through some more rave cutscenes. That's fun. So then we need to go talk to the school reporter, and he asks us to go take a bunch of pictures. The positions where these pictures are set up is totally random. So we hope that we don't have to walk up these stairs, but we've already had to walk up these stairs. So hopefully we don't have to walk up the stairs again. But essentially, if you're lucky, you don't end up having to walk up the stairs ever. But am I just dumb and missed where this is? I might have literally walked past it and might be back up the stairs again. Okay, no, it's right there. Good. Is this upstairs again? Dang it. This is like super bad luck. Going up the stairs twice is like probably about as bad as the luck can get. Every time the 5th picture is over here though, but basically you can get lucky enough to where all of the pictures can just be on this main floor area here. So that's cool if you like get to this part and you're like doing super well in the run, and then you just get really bad picture luck, because that's like really significant. Like it's a really significant amount of time that you lose from getting bad luck there. It's pretty great. So we sit here, Kyle's getting a picture with this chick here, and Vanessa Hudgens, and basically like eventually Mary-Kate Olsen's had enough of Kyle's crap. Crap, I said crap. And we're gonna hex Kyle now. This game contains witchcraft. So if your parents don't approve, guys, look away. In this game here, we can get the hexes can take between 5 to 7 clicks, like 5 to 7 rows clicks here. We have to like press the A button whenever the outline is getting closer to these flowers. But essentially, if we end up if we get 5, then it's a little bit faster because we only need to click 5 times and end sooner. If we get 7, then it's a little bit longer. So looks like we have decent luck so far on this. Yeah. Good. Yeah, it wasn't bad. Awesome. So now we hex Kyle, because that's how you hex people, and Kyle's like, whoa! Camera effects and stuff. And oh, by the way, the music in this game, just so you guys know, I guess they probably had like a hard time licensing the actual music from the movie, so they just use a bunch of like stock music for a bunch of the cutscenes, and like the dancing music, for instance, like that's some stock music, for example. And it's just kind of hilarious because like a lot of the cutscenes just don't really fit the music very well. But yeah. Alright, so we're gonna go to Kyle's locker, and then we're gonna be like, crap, Kyle's locker is locked. Like, who'd have thought? So we go back to Lindy, and she's like, well, I don't know, do something, you know? And then we're like, oh, well, let's go pull the fire alarm. That'll get everybody distracted so I can break into his locker. And yeah, so we're gonna break into Kyle's locker. We need to walk all the way up here to trigger the fire alarm. Yeah. Alright, and then we trigger the fire alarm, and what that does is that just like makes all of the NPCs disappear. And the funny thing is if you press like the start button and then you unpause again, all of the NPCs are just back. So even while the fire alarm's going off, so it's kind of it's kind of dumb, but anyway, fun fact. So we go raise the fire alarm, and then we're going to Kyle's locker, and we're moving on to the next minigame, the pick block minigame. This game is just totally luck-based too. Basically, these kids use the worst locks in the world that tell you what the combination is whenever you scroll over the number that is needed. So you just wait until the number's highlighted and then you click it. But basically, they're the worst locks in the world. And if you're lucky enough, then you can end up getting them pretty quickly, like that, for instance. But it's all just luck. Also, listen to this dope, snappy music. Snap. Snap. Oh man, I missed that. Okay, cool. So we're done breaking into Kyle's locker, and I guess 5 other lockers for some reason. And now we're going to go talk to Sloan, and in the middle of our walk to Sloan, which is really kind of weirdly paced, we get a cutscene of Kyle realizing he's all been cursed and stuff. And again, it's kind of like really out in the middle of nowhere. Like, you're just walking along and, oh, Kyle's hexed, and fade back into reality. And then we talk to Sloan, and then that's the end of that part. So then, fun fact, you see those little, like, the social media menu that we use, basically? The menu is just basically, like, a Facebook website for the school. We can actually menu through that a little quicker. There's, like, an exit button on the menu itself, but you can just press the minus button to exit immediately. And if you press the exit button on the menu, it actually, like, fades out and takes, like, an entire second to exit. So that button's just completely useless and wastes time. So now Kyle has been hexed, and essentially his dad finds out, and he's like, oh man, Kyle, I'm sorry bro, we'll send you out to a new house and we'll move you away so you don't have to, so none of these kids can see you being all like a beast and stuff. And Kyle's like, man, dad, you're such a dingus. Oh man, that's a bad word. Alright, so basically we go and talk to Zola. Zola is like this house maid that is hired by the dad to help out Kyle while he's living there. So Kyle, like, lives in New York or something now, and now we need to go, well, so he's moving, and we're gonna go trail him to where he is. So now we're going and trailing Kyle, and we're going on one of the best motorcycles in the world. This thing has, like, amazing acceleration. But this is, like, pretty much the only, like, slightly good minigame, sort of, out of the whole game. But anyway, so we're gonna go motocrossing to go and stalk Kyle. And we need to avoid these pits, because if we run into these, then that wastes time. I could be wrong. I don't think the speedometer in the bottom right actually really means anything. So when we're, like, turning, it shows that we're, like, losing speed, but I don't think we are really. I could be wrong, but I try to stay as I try to not turn too much if I can, just because if that does actually help. I don't think it does, so I don't think it really makes a big difference. Speedometer's a lie. Alright, so we get to the end of this part here. Nice. Hit something at the end there. Alright, so then we get a cutscene here. So while this cutscene's playing out, I'll give you guys a fun fact. There's a really neat glitch that you can do in this game. It's not useful yet. But basically, if you press the start button while you enter a game, like anytime you're about to enter a mini game, it'll end up playing the cutscene after the mini game. So, like, for instance, if I pressed the start button while walking up to the bike there, I would have watched that cutscene. But the thing about it is the game actually, like, remembers to play the minigame. At least for most of the mini games. Again, we'll get to that later. But hey, it's Neil Patrick Harris. And he's in the movie, he's hired to go and help out Kyle and be like, I forget if he's like a mentor or like a friend or something, but basically he's blind, so he can't judge Kyle on his bad looks or whatever because he's blind and stuff. But Neil Patrick Harris is cool. He's like, hey, come play darts with us, random character. So we're like, cool, let's go to the club and play some darts. So we're gonna go play some darts with a blind guy. That's, you know, it's fair. Okay. Alright, so in this game we need to just hit one of each of the sections here, so we just need to hope we don't take too long on this. On the outer numbers, it's I was gonna say, it's a little easier for us to hit it as long as we're a little more careful here. There we go. As long as we don't lose all of our darts, we don't need to replay the minigame, so that's all that matters there. So we beat a blind guy at darts, who'd have thought, and then we need to just talk to him again here, and then we move on. So Kyle's like, I'm gonna delete my MySpace account because everybody hates me. I am no more. I just love how like over dramatic this is. Sorry, it's so funny. Okay, so Kyle quits MySpace or whatever, and so then he like goes to this big old like party in some like part of his town, and there's all these celebrations and balloons and stuff, and that's all cool. It's kind of weird because you kind of get this feeling like you're sort of like, you know, it's almost like you're following the story of your own character being some of these characters, like with the motorcycle. Like there's instances where like you're doing something with another character and then it just replaces your character with Kyle in the actual movie cutscene or whatever, and it's just kind of off-putting. But anyway, hey, did you guys miss the dancing? Because I did. We have harder DDR now with a 1 and a 2 button. So dance time. So we're gonna do this. Hopefully we get good luck here again. Not much to explain about this game though. It's just DDR again. Oh, I missed a note. Nice. That's pretty hilarious. You have such a ridiculously large amount of time to react to that it's kind of hilarious that I missed that. Alright. We got this, boys. We got this. Dancing in the street. Oh man, you guys remember Dancing in the Street like Mick Jagger and David Bowie? Oh my god. Oh man, I need to stop saying oh my god. Anyway. It's bad. Anyway, so that game's over finally. Then we need to go and talk to Sloan, and Sloan's all like, where's Kyle at? And Kyle just happens to be at the party, but nobody recognizes him because he's all like, you know, tattooed and bald and stuff. But Vanessa Hudgens is cool with him. She's real nice. So she's basically like the super nice person to Kyle the whole time, while Sloan is like, oh yeah, actually I need to talk to this guy, so okay. So after that we need to go and play some candy vending machine to pass the time, you know, because how else would we transition from one scene to another with any sort of sense made? So basically in this game, if you pull the candy up a little too quickly, then it'll drop from your hand. So you want to hope that doesn't happen, but hopefully we get this quickly here. Ah, dude, come on. Freaking licorice bats. You got this. You got this, boys. Yeah! The graphics. Alright. So we're done with that minigame, and what's neat about this game is, I don't know if it was coming out at the same time as the movie or what, but basically this game has the alternate ending to the movie as the plot ending instead of the regular movie's ending for whatever reason. And what that entails is basically Kyle's, like, Vanessa Hudgenson gets kidnapped, and Kyle needs to go save her from, like, drug dealers and stuff. And so we go and investigate the scene, and what happens there, one neat thing that just happened there is the game was like, the game is for some reason not able to keep up with the inputs there, like whenever you go from that quest marker to the next quest marker. So what happens there is the game is now going to be one step behind in the quest log the whole time. So it's going to tell us to do whatever we just did a second ago, basically. So it's going to tell us now to do the investigation that we just did, and it'll point us in the wrong directions and stuff. So at this point in time, we have to just know the whole game by memory, because all of the loading zones are there and stuff. It's just that the checkpoints that it points you to are just not there. Like, it's completely false, and then sometimes you can't even go to them because they're completely out of bounds because they're not in the same level. So in this minigame, we climb the wall and we break into the zoo. So this is kind of like the hexing minigame where we have to click on the flowers and stuff, but we do it with hands this time. And the hitboxes in this game are kind of picky and like to be dumb, so sometimes when I click it, it just doesn't click anyway. So that'll be fun if that happens, but it's not a big deal. It doesn't waste a ton of time, but we're getting there, boys. We're getting there. Alright, so we're through that. We climbed the wall successfully. We have broken into the zoo. And so now it tells us to get inside the zoo, so it points to, like, that wall outside there, but we're already in, so not a big deal because we can still continue. We just have to, again, remember where we're going the whole time. So throughout the zoo, there's these signs that give us a bunch of factoids about these animals and stuff, and at the very end of this walk, we end up having to take a quiz that quizzes us on all of the questions. So we do have to make sure to read all of the panels, though. We can't skip any panels. We can't, like, go and just walk up to the quiz and do it without reading the panels. So we're moving along in the zoo, you know, after hours, no big deal. And then there's this panel coming up here. Yeah, got that. And then there's one more, and then we go and take a test here. Boy, this game is exciting, isn't it, guys? Alright, so we finished touring the zoo, and now it tells us to tour the zoo. So we're gonna not do that and go talk to this security guard to try and break into this building. But he's like, hey, no. So we have to do this zoo quiz. So we have to do this right. I'm gonna... Basically, I've just memorized all of the questions, but you just have to get, like, 5 questions right or something. I think, I could be wrong. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we did. I just wanted to make double sure, but I messed up there anyway, so good thing I was right about that. So anyway, so now we watch them watching some, like, film that is in this building of the zoo they broke into. That, you know, these two broke into and our character didn't, and this is really confusing. Anyway, so now everybody's getting ready for the Machu Picchu trip. Remember that? That's a thing. Everybody's getting all ready for the Machu Picchu trip, and they're all like, Kyle's like getting there, and everyone sees Kyle for the first time after him getting hexed, and they're like, oh my god, he's so ugly. And it's like, it's just really weird. It's like, I don't know, it's kind of funny because Kyle's just like a guy, and I mean, like, in the Beauty and the Beast movie, as far as I know, they kind of do the same thing, but it's not like he's a gigantic beast. or anything. He's just some guy, so everyone's just like super rude about it. It's kind of great. Anyway, so we need to go find a character, and the teacher tells us to go ask a bunch of people to go find her, and they're all like, we don't know where she is, and then we tell the teacher that we don't know where she is. So then yeah, and then that's not important, so we move on to the next section, which is going to Kyle's apartment. And here we meet Neil Patrick Harris. First we have to watch a cutscene of Kyle setting up his garden, roof garden thing or whatever. And he sets that all up, and then we go and talk to Neil Patrick Harris, and then we play some golf off of the roof. This is like actually probably, I was wrong about the dancing minigame, or whatever minigame I said was the best. This is the best minigame, because this is literally just like Mario Golf. And we have to hit all of the balls at a specific distance here. I hopefully hit that last one decent enough. Okay, good. And if we do it well enough, hopefully we can just do it in 4 strokes instead of 5. You can reach the amount in, yeah, 4 strokes. So cool, we did that. We saved a cycle. That's nice. Sweet. So now it transitions to Kyle and Neil Patrick Harris playing golf instead of us. And hopefully nobody dies, but whatever, we don't care about that. So we're in Machu Picchu now, and now we need to go tour around Machu Picchu. We need to go basically do the same thing we did in the zoo, where we go and talk to a bunch of panels and get information, and then we're quizzed on the information at the end of it. So this is a big old long walk, which is fun. But anyway, I'll reiterate the there's again this glitch that you can do where once you're entering a minigame, while it's like loading up, while it's like entering the minigame, you can press the start button and that'll load the cutscene after the minigame. So that can be useful on the very last minigame here, which isn't the quiz that's coming up, but it's the minigame after the quiz here. Oh, dude, I didn't talk to the other panel, rip. I'm sorry, guys. I just wasted a bunch of time. I have to talk to this panel first. See, this is one thing that happens if you don't have the quest log in the right order, is if you're dumb and you miss something, then it wastes a bunch of time. All right. So we fixed that. My apologies. Anyway, so now we walk back up here, do a walk of shame back up here, and anyway, so as I was saying, for the final minigame, though, we are able to skip it for one specific reason, and I'll mention that as that happens. We walk through Machu Picchu here, just have a couple more signs to go talk to, and then we'll go and take the Machu Picchu quiz. And this takes a while. This place is big. It's a biggin'. Alright, so we talk to this sign here, and then there's one more sign over here we need to talk to. Also, this game has like extremely ridiculous like hitboxes. Some of the hitboxes on the corners are like so easy to get stuck on because they're so large. It's ridiculous. Alright. So we go and read all the stuff about Machu Picchu, and then we need to walk back and talk to the teacher to do the quiz. And so this quiz is going to be effectively the very last minigame of the whole game. So kind of the final boss, but not really the technical final boss. Alright, so this is just another quiz. This one we can only miss one question out of all of them, so it's not too big of a deal. But basically, yeah, so sun god, that, 140, astronomical clock, bam, cool. So there we go. So we did that quiz, and now we move on to the so what we'd have to do here is we're supposed to go and take some pictures of Machu Picchu, and then we do the final minigame, which is the very last thing you do in the entire game, is just a spot the difference minigame between like 2 pictures, and then once you finish that, the game just it just finishes. finishes and rolls credits. And so what's cool about the credits is the credits are a cutscene. And so what happens is whenever we enter those credits, for whatever reason, the game just does not play the final minigame, unlike the rest of the minigames. So time. So now game's over. We just beat the game. And when you press pause to skip that minigame, for whatever reason, it, unlike the rest of the minigames, it just doesn't play the minigame through once you finish watching the cutscene that you get to. So that is Beastly. I hope you guys enjoyed. So we're gonna, if you guys are cool with it, I was gonna play out the rest of these credits. It's only gonna take a little bit. I know I was like way underestimate, so I was gonna, if it's cool, would it be cool if I show off like one little thing, one little stupid thing, because it's pretty dumb. It's dumb, but it's kind of funny to show off. Once we're through these credits here. Go ahead. Okay, cool. It's not like too crazy, but it's kind of funny. So we watch the credits through here, and they play through and stuff, and the camera pans out, and it's great and all. And then and just proof as to the game not playing the minigame after. You can see once we exit that, it'll kind of go into the game mode a little bit there, but then it plays the final cutscene, and then it'll transition into the final. Like, what happens after you actually beat the game is it just puts you in this, like, it saves the game in this state where you can't like go and explore around the world or anything. You can just only play free play of the mini games that you unlocked. So yeah, so now we're done with the game, and what's neat is you don't unlock the final minigame if you don't play it. So that's another thing, is we're in this final save state. We can't exit, but we also don't have the final minigame, so I don't know. Anyway, so that's not important, but so I'm gonna show off this really dumb thing. So you guys know that dancing minigame we were doing a second ago, right? So for whatever reason, in the free play version of the game, it's just really glitched up or something for whatever reason. This happens every time, but basically the notes that scroll by, they'll randomly just start scrolling like faster out of nowhere. I could be wrong. Maybe that's only if I complete the whole game. Maybe it is. I might be wrong. Okay. I think I might be wrong here. I think if you have all of the minigames unlocked, that might be the case. Maybe it doesn't glitch out whenever you do that. But anyway, the game usually would glitch out, and the notes would like just randomly scroll faster and faster. But anyway, doesn't matter. It didn't end up happening this time, so my bad. Anyway, so that is Beastly. That's all I was gonna show off. So thanks for watching today, guys. I appreciate you guys having this run. It's a fun, really dumb game. It's like one of the dumbest games I probably know about on the Wii. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. I'm gonna just cut stream here off.